The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, this is Ken Gage, and this is The Art of Politics, the only show of its type where a Democrat, the good people, obviously, talk to Republicans, which means my partner in crime over here. How you doing?
Ken, it's always a pleasure. You got some big dreams, don't you?
Representative Elvis.
Yeah, get it out.
No, I'm not going to, but we have Ed Stebbins here. How you doing?
Good, sir.
And you are running for?
State Representative from Ward 8.
And you are a Republican?
Yes, sir.
It's an honor.
Thank you, Al. Nice to be here.
Yeah.
Ward 8 is the southern part of Nashua.
Is it a Democrat district? Or
it's actually one of the two districts that goes both ways all the time. It's evenly split. There's a large percentage of homeowners there, and there's also a large percentage of condo homeowners, and a lot of new apartments have come into the area.
You know, you've seen Ken and I go at it all the time.
Every Sunday morning, sir.
Why would you want to get into this mix?
That is a very good question. I'm like, am I sane or not? I think it's time that more people who are of average citizens get to go. I am very fortunate to have flexible work hours, and then I can...
Wait, are you saying you're average? You're not average.
No, he's average.
There's nothing average about him.
Will you stop cutting him off? He's already started off.
I know. I have flexible work hours, so I can create my own work hours, my own schedule. That would allow me the time to serve in Concord. Because when I say average, the tradition or the trend has been people over the age of, retirement age and above serve up there. So I think being in the 50s brings the balance down a little bit, and I wanted to do a better job at representing the citizen.
You look like you're 65 and 70. Does he look like 70?
There's some important issues coming up.
Oh, man.
Plus me at 39.
You need young Democrats up there.
While he's running this out there,
I know, there's some important
door to door. Let's talk important issues.
I've done a little door-to-door. The two important issues right now in Nashua, it's been in the newspaper, is bringing in an exit 36 southbound. So people from the north coming into Nashua to go shopping, that's Bitbrook Road, exit 1. I can't go by a quarter mile on Sunday.
Also rail? Are you for rail?
Rail would be nice.
Excuse me, are you for rail?
I'm for rail. I think it'll happen long after I'm in the ground, but I think it'll happen.
Why do you think it'll be long after you're in the ground?
Which is after you're in the ground.
Can I ask you a question?
I think the price
hold on a second.
I think the price of rail is prohibitive.
Oh, I see. So you don't want rail.
I would like rail.
So the price of rail?
I think is going to be prohibitive.
Excuse me, don't you think?
Evan, don't let him play you into there because he'll keep going.
But I haven't seen the federal study yet that they're working on right now.
That's the correct answer.
So we're waiting for the study.
What is the cost to the taxpayers is the question that we need to know before you commit. If Nashua thinks it's a great idea, and I support you, and I think it's, if Nashua wants it, if it's a money maker, don't you think they'd be kicking in the doors?
But Nashua is paying for that beautiful highway that you have.
You know the problem over here with the Republicans is real simple, not complicated. You keep saying Nashua. We have a regional airport.
Yes.
We also have Concord, New Hampshire.
Right.
We also have one of the better places in the world to come to. And you guys don't want rail to come up here?
Because you're going to subsidize it through the taxpayers.
Really?
Well, we subsidize everything.
Don't you subsidize automobiles?
Wait, this is about Edmund. This is about.
But my first priority would be to assist in the exit 36 southbound ramp. Because the Spitbrook Road, Daniel Webster Highway traffic is horrendous coming in from both sides.
I will support you on that. and I'll help
It may
with
take
you to
8 or
get
10
that.
years to get that to come in.
Well, actually, no. Well, you're right. But what we can do together is you as a rep, and I've been up there 8 years, push him aside. I will work with you to get that on the 10-year plan.
You're going to have a good friend now.
Like I said, push him aside. I will help you get that on the 10-year plan for Nashua.
Because what people may not know, and I was just living here at the early stage, so remember this, but originally you could not leave the Pheasant Lane Mall, let's say the south side, close to Tingsboro, and you could not get on to Route 3.
Right.
You could not get on Route 3 North. You had to go all the way up and through. Now, it was funny. That happened in about the year 1987. If you think back in your history, who was the governor of Massachusetts in that era that became the Democratic nominee for president in 1988?
88. I was in the Marine Corps then.
That would be one Governor Michael Dukakis.
Dukakis, that's right.
So,
I remember the picture in the tank when I was in the Marines.
Yeah. So between Mr. Dukakis working...
Nobody wears hats now.
Mr. Dukakis obviously wanted the votes of Nashua Democrats.
Right.
And they got BAE actually donated the land, I found out, from former Mayor Jim Donchester, who was mayor at the time. He worked the deal with, you want to get the New Hampshire vote for president? And BAE's got the land, let's make a deal. And it happened, so I would hope that something similar could happen. That we could get.
Do you know if the land is already empty over there?
Yeah, believe it, I think they have to buy out 7 homes.
7 homes?
And they're probably in the Dunstable, Tingsboro side of it.
Of course,
so.
you know, I was one of the pushers on eminent domain to make sure that they pay top dollar to these homeowners if they have to do that.
Nashua did that with the Broad Street Parkway, paid top dollar, and now they're putting the homes back on the market.
On the market.
And the homeowner who owned the home gets the first dibs at buying it at what the city paid for, which I thought was a pretty fair deal. That's really the only issue that I've talked to. I've only done door-to-door for a couple of weekends.
And I know you only have 10 minutes, so why don't we get you to tell our watchers, listeners, you're running for
Ward 8, State Representative. Yeah.
How can they get in touch with you?
I have an email address, which is edstebbins@hotmail.com. Facebook, of course, under Ed Stebbins. And then 891-6483. Again, 891-6483 is my home phone. And it rings on my cell all the time.
And by the way, he is one of the gentlemen who helped get the Out of Politics on a number of stations throughout the state.
Yes, I learned politics. Yes, I'm very pleased.
There was one thing I want to make sure. I've known Edmund for a long time now. He's on my Facebook. Edmund, I see, works hand in hand with Democrats and Republicans. Are you willing to say right here on TV, Edmund as a state rep, you'll be more than happy to work with him here across the aisle when you're in the minority?
You know, well, Ed, it's been awfully nice seeing you. Okay.
I think that's the way that things have to get done. Because
that's right.
I'm used to local politics. And in the city of Nashua, I mean, yes, we know who the Democrat aldermen are. We know who the Republican aldermen are. But when they really sit down together, it's for Nashua or it's what's good for your ward.
And I'll tell you what, if you do exactly that, remember where you're from. Yeah. You will not be voting with the Republicans all the time. Well, if you don't, you're going to have only one term.
Then you'll be voting to take money out of people's pockets and food off their table.
I'm very fiscally conservative.
If you go with the left.
No, I'm very fiscally conservative. Grew up in Vermont when Vermont was a true Republican state.
Right.
And we, grew up in a fiscally prudent family. My grandparents were real estate rich, cash poor.
Will you join us here, and I'll help Nashua with that exit?
You will. No, you're going to help Nashua with
I'll help
rail.
Nashua. No, look, I don't support the rail.
Ed has to leave. You and I are going to go at it, okay? Because I'm mad at you.
Will you and I come back and help him to get that exit here in Nashua? Because I think it's a no-brainer.
Gentlemen, I'll be back, folks. I'll be back after the show to clean up the blood. It's been a pleasure being here.
Yeah, same here.
There's no blood on the floor.
Telephone number again.
891-6483.
All right,
Ed Stebbins at hotmail.com. Ed or Edmund Stebbins, S-T-E-B-B.
Ward 8.
Ward 8.
Republican.
Bicentennial School District, sir.
All right, this is Ken Gidge. This is the Out of Politics. Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Hi, this is Ken Gidge. We're back from a break. I just got rid of one Republican. Now I'm stuck with this Republican. My partner again, how are you?
I'll tell you, Ken, it was great to hear, 2-on-1, and then you once again cut him off every time he tried to speak.
Of course. Ed's a really a nice guy. I mean,
he is a good guy.
He brought a lady in, Jackie, who cleans houses.
What a beautiful program.
For ladies who have cancer. And so we thought we'd get Ed in. Ed Stebbins is running for Ward 8 Alderman. He is a Republican. Shame on him.
Well, he's seen the light, but he knows how to work across the aisle.
He's not for rail because of supposedly
that's not true.
the
He didn't
cost.
say that. No, he didn't say that.
But he's looking for another.
Don't put words in his mouth. He did not say that. He said he wants to look at all the information, the study.
All the information. You guys
he
don't
does not
know
want to raise
anything.
taxes on your Nashua.
You know something? Where do you guys, doesn't it register to you if you go from Route 3 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, goes down to 25 and 15 miles an hour till you get to the New Hampshire state border from Route 28 all the way down Route 3? Doesn't it come to you guys and ladies of the Republican Party that we need rail in the state of New Hampshire?
If rail was
you know
prosperous,
how much money people are spending driving up and down that thing?
How are you going to pay for it? What are you going to cut? Mental health?
What
are you going to cut?
How about taking just 10-15% of the people off the road? They will pay for it. You fill the trains up.
Massachusetts is in debt with their rail. They're subsidizing it over and over.
You have to subsidize rail.
No, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, you don't subsidize the highways?
Are you willing to raise the taxes in Nashua?
You don't have to raise taxes.
How are you going to pay?
Wait a minute.
Where does the money come from?
Why are you saying that? The problem.
You're going to pull dollars out of the air?
The problem with you guys is that you say Nashua. How about Manchester? How about Concord?
You're not listening.
Rail is you're not listening. You guys forget the importance of getting tourism up here.
Rail.
People going to Boston and coming back. You guys don't get it.
I would support rail if you show me how we're gonna pay for it. Show me how without taxing people.
Oh, let me see.
They're already taxed
let me try this one. Let me just try one more time.
Energy costs
if it takes you from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock from 128 coming down to Route 3 just to get into New Hampshire, okay, and the speed is 65, and you go down to the speed of 15, 10 to a dead stop from Route 128 to New Hampshire, if you took 10% of those people off the road, which certainly would, and get into rail, rail will pay for itself.
Now,
Does it cost money to get it going? You're right. Is it worth it? Yes.
Do
we have an airport?
On and on
yeah, right. Do we have an airport up in Manchester that needs people?
You know, we have the fix. You know, we did the fix at the state. You might have missed the meetings. I might have missed the vote. What we did was, we invested money in Exit 4, 5, 1, and I think you have some over here on Route 3, bus terminals. People are parking. They're parking their cars and driving the buses in. The state is not losing money because these are private businesses that are doing this, not the government. You want to keep your hands in the taxpayer's pocket. If you go to Londonderry, my town...
You keep saying that, and New Hampshire is turning into practically a third
world country. Is that what you're trying to say?
Practically. Everybody has railroads. People must travel. Not everybody. You like the poor people?
Railroad.
Do you wait?
They went broke.
Don't you care about the poor people?
You know something?
Do you care about the poor people?
I care very well.
If you care about poor people, people who need jobs, people who need transportation, rail is the way to go about it.
Why don't you, if they need jobs, the poor people, then why don't you sign on with me on right to work so we can bring in companies?
Oh, wait a minute.
To put people to work.
Wait a minute. Right to work for less.
No, that's not true. You're
right to work for less.
That's the union approach.
So wait a minute. By the way, I was endorsed by AFT,
right,
CIO.
The unions. That's why you don't want right to work. That's why you don't want more companies to come in and work. For people to put. You want to put people to work.
And you know, it's very fascinating that nobody in New Hampshire, except for the Republicans, are complaining about unions.
When you're done running
the day
your mouth,
you guys start fooling around and getting rid of the unions, that's police unions.
We're not trying to get rid of the unions.
Fire unions.
You know something?
Do you know what happens?
We're not trying to get rid of unions.
You know what right to work means?
Is not getting rid of unions.
You know what right to work means? Let me tell you. You see this? The minute right to work is signed into the state of New Hampshire, I just want to show everybody this. Here's the paper. Right to work. It becomes law. Now, the police have a union and they have a contract. When the contract is up, literally, not joking, they can hand to police, anyone in the union, the companies, the people who own the companies, can hand to the union people, you're fired. And by the way, here is an application. Here is an application for your same job.
Is New Hampshire?
So they completely start at.
Is New Hampshire an at-will state? Are we an at-will state?
At will.
At will. Are we an at-will state?
Yes.
No. See,
at will.
Don't you know? Then you don't know what you're talking about. Then.
Well, are we talking about the same thing?
You don't know what at will is. How long have you been a legislator?
Well, explain it
How
to
long
me.
have you been a state rep?
At will for what?
For employment, meaning you're at will. They can fire you any time now, regardless whether you're in the union or not.
You know, and you know what's interesting about that? The reason why they keep the unions is the unions are extremely helpful because they keep it united.
Do a great job.
No, wait,
you're not listening.
Oh, I see.
Will you listen to me for a second? Can I get a word out here? Listen to me.
They do a good job.
Yeah, listen to me for a minute.
And so you want to fire them?
No, nobody.
You want to get rid of the union?
I never. No, right to work does not get rid of the unions.
No.
You're wrong.
Oh, right.
If you can do a Google search on right to work, take a look at Texas, Michigan, South Carolina, North Carolina. Don't believe me or Ken. Do your own search and look what's going on there with the businesses that are flourishing.
South Carolina
with the jobs that are flourishing.
South Carolina, North Carolina.
North Carolina. I'm just naming a few. Texas, Michigan.
And by the way, up in New Hampshire, it's 4.2 unemployment. Where is it in Texas? Where is it in North Carolina, South Carolina? Isn't it 6 point something or other?
I think it's less than that. I can't quote.
Why,
I don't want to tell what it is because I really don't know.
Why are we doing so well up here with unions, but yet you guys want to get rid of them?
We are stagnant here. What don't you understand?
That is a Republican thing. You got. Why can't you just be a natural individual?
Then why do you need real then? If we're doing so great, then why do you need it then? If we're doing so great with jobs, why do you need real?
Because
subsidized by the government.
That's why.
But we got all these buses we invested into.
Excuse me, you didn't invest in buses.
No, the federal government gave many grants here.
Oh, I see.
To buy buses.
Oh, hold on. But aren't we the federal government? Don't we pay for that?
Yes.
So are we subsidizing them?
We do. You know where that money came from?
Are we subsidizing them?
Can I tell you where the money came from?
Where are we subsidizing
the gas tax.
Oh, I see.
That came from the federal gas tax.
So what you've just said is that we're subsidizing buses.
No, we're not.
But you don't want to subsidize rail.
You don't get it, do you?
You don't. Excuse me. Federal money is you and me.
No. That's the gas tax coming back to New Hampshire that we pay.
I see.
That money that we pay in gas, federal gas tax, is coming back.
So you're for the gas tax?
No, I support.
You just said.
No, wait. You know, you turned so much around there, Mike, for the gas tax. You know, I support a gas tax to maintain our roads. But do I support a gas tax where you're siphoning off in different directions? The Democrats, $38 million you took out of the gas tax.
I got a question.
And you're crying. You got no money.
Question to ask you. I want to help you get reelected.
You don't need to help me. I do all right on my own. I don't want a Democrat.
Let me see. If it came up, if you guys became, let's say, the majority, would you try to repeal the gas tax?
I will. Tell you what, I will.
Okay, so you will repeal the gas tax.
I will repeal the
So the roads will stop.
No, that's not true.
93 will stop.
That's not true. Why do you?
Our bridges won't be fixed.
Why do Democrats always throw scare tactics in there?
It's the truth.
Then stop stealing money out of the gas tax to conservation, fish and game. To the state troopers, put them in the budget. Put them in the budget.
And when O'Brien, and by the way, O'Brien will be here next week.
That's
we'll
right.
have some fun with him.
He's gonna
and by the way,
up.
just to change the subject for a moment, next week will be our 100th show as the Art of Politics. And I thought Bill O'Brien, who did 50% of the shows, and yourself and I should be here.
Right. I will definitely be
here. And so it will be the... the Art of Politics.
I met a lot of people.
And it's only two of you, so I'm really going to.
Yeah. I meet a lot of people.
Do you think Bill O'Brien is going to get in as Speaker?
I know he is.
Do you think the Republicans are going to take over?
I know we are.
So you guys will repeal the gas tax?
Well, let me put it this way.
Excuse me.
I can't speak for the rest of the Republicans, but what I can do, because people in my district drive into Massachusetts to work. Some of them park their cars. If you go to exit 4, 5, or 93, exit 1 or 2, I think there's another one there, Look at the hundreds of cars that are parked there.
Subsidized by the federal government, and that's you and me, guess what?
That is your taxes coming back to New Hampshire that we want back.
Well, why can't we do that with rail?
Because
you keep saying taking out of our pockets, being taken out of our pockets.
All we got to do is look over the border in Massachusetts and look at the taxes they're taking off of people.
And let me see, how many states in the United States does not have rail travel?
Can I ask you something?
Do you know that?
No, I don't have that answer.
None. Okay. Except New Hampshire.
Okay, good.
New Hampshire is the only state that does not have rail. How
No, that's not true. We do have rail. That's not true.
Excuse me.
That's not true. We do have rail.
Excuse me. Passenger rail?
Up north. We have
passenger trail?
moving cargo and other stuff up north.
Oh, I see. So what do we do for? We give everybody a coat. We put them on a flatbed, and we put them on trains.
But these are private businesses,
do we need
entrepreneurs that invested their money.
Hold on.
If rail was a money maker, why aren't these businesses coming in to invest in rail? Why aren't they coming in if it's a money maker?
Excuse me. Let's get something straight here. You were talking about financing, taking money out of people's pockets, and then you just admitted by saying that we took finances, money out of people's pockets, meaning taxpayers, to help finance buses?
The grants. They are grants from the gas tax. The road
grants?
tax.
Well, wait,
we're
did we
money
pay
we get money from the federal government.
Did we not pay that out of gas tax?
Yes, we pay it in a gas tax.
So, in other words, we're financing buses. So should we not finance railroad?
No.
We should not finance railroad.
We should take money out of the grants from the federal government.
Are you getting paid anything by the private railroad people up here in the state of New Hampshire?
I love how you turn things around. You're unbelievable. You know something?
Thank you very much.
Massachusetts, are they subsidizing? Are they in debt? Their rail? Are they losing money? Yes, they are.
Well,
don't believe me.
Hold on.
Do a Google search
when
yourself.
When you say rail in Massachusetts, let's get something let's get something straight.
Yes.
Rail is considered subways also.
Are they losing money in Massachusetts? Have they been raising their fees to try to stay above water?
I got a question to ask you, because this is probably an interesting question.
Why can't you never answer me?
You don't think that having rail or in Massachusetts subways helps the economy?
Big time.
And if you didn't have it?
Yes, it does.
So you admit that. So you don't think rail would help our economy?
Will you give me a chance to answer?
Especially,
will you give me a chance to answer?
If we get gaming, we're going to need rail.
Will you give me a chance to answer?
If we get gaming, would you go for it?
Will you give me a chance to answer the question that you asked?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, the rail makes a big difference. I would support any private company that comes into New Hampshire that owns the railroad, okay, to bring it into New Hampshire, to bring your cars in to make money. But somebody has had your hands in the taxpayers' pocket.
Excuse me.
What's the problem with that?
What do you mean?
Entrepreneurs.
Private what?
Private rail coming in. Massachusetts send their rails.
Private rail coming in.
Yes.
I see. So
because the land is not owned by the state or other
you don't think Massachusetts would want money to do this?
Massachusetts would benefit if they did this.
No, you don't. So what you're saying is New Hampshire's not going to get rail.
You know something? Massachusetts owns Nashua and other cities a lot of money because of the dams that are put in place years ago through Congress. Okay, if they would pay us the money they owe us, maybe we can pay for the rail.
Well, rail.
But see, you're not fighting for that. How come?
I'll tell you what. I am from Nashua. You don't even get it, especially you next to the airport. Mm-hmm. If you have somebody coming into Nashua, it's going to go through Nashua. It will go up to Manchester. We have an airport that helps everyone out. Which, by the way, is losing business.
Doesn't Nashua have an
Not
airport?
a commuter, no.
How come?
Absolutely.
Why aren't you guys beefing that up like we did?
Why? We did.
Yeah, we did with Manchester.
Excuse me. Also, you're from Manchester.
No, 3/4 of that airport.
Listen, you're from Manchester.
Will you let me finish? You always shut me right off. 3/4 of the Manchester airport is in Londonderry. Londonderry gets over $600,000 a year in taxes from the businesses around there. Okay? Yes, 3/4 of that.
So no wonder you don't want rail.
Because no, it's not that. I want rail, but I want private industry to bring it in. What don't you understand?
Private industry, excuse me.
You want government.
Excuse me, how do you?
You want government running everything. I don't. I want private industry. I want entrepreneurs stepping up, spending your money, investing in businesses. You want big government.
And, okay, you said who owns the railroad? Who owns the tracks?
Peter Leishman, a Democrat, owns the tracks in other up north.
Okay, so
He's
who owns the tracks?
Huh? I don't know who
so
owns
we've got to pay to use the tracks.
There's certain
Everybody's got to pay to use those tracks.
There's some people that own the land. There's a bunch of different people, I understand, from what I'm hearing. Don't quote me. Okay, this is what I'm hearing. So we have to pay rent to them for the land. The rail has been there for years already. You have a lot of rail already in place, I understand.
Of course we have transportation rail.
But what I'm trying to say is,
and do you know why passenger rail went out?
Because they couldn't afford it. It went broke.
Passenger rail. Passenger rail went out because of the invention of the automobile.
No, well, that's.
We had one of the largest, greatest hotels and motels in the world.
Right.
Nobody was driving. Now everybody's driving the cars, but the problem is we're getting back to the opposite. We didn't have any cars. We had cars. You got rid of rail. Now there's so many cars. We need rail back.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay. We beat this enough. You want bigger government to spend money, take food off people's table. I want entrepreneurs to put rail in. I support rail, but entrepreneurs bringing it in. But now, well, let's move on. Did I tell you about a...
No.
Whoa, you got something else here?
Yeah, oh, yes.
Every time I want to bring up veterans, you want to fight me.
We will talk about veterans.
All right,
Don't worry about that.
Go ahead.
Now, what happened to Garcia?
What do you mean what happened?
Excuse me.
What happened?
All of a sudden, we find out that she's voted against, obviously, abortions, even for abortions for incense.
What's wrong with that? I did too.
Incense?
I did too.
Health of the mother?
I did too.
You voted against?
No, there was no bill.
The mother can die
wait,
instead of having the...
Can you tell me, give me the bill number. What bill did we vote on the health of the mother? Because on the parental notification, that's incorrect. What bill did we vote for the health of the mother? Give me the number. You're running something now. Let's get the facts on the table.
The health of the mother.
What bill did we vote against the health of the mother?
It was you people, the Republicans, who put it in, whereby doctors would be sued, even if it was, if they did an abortion to save the mother's life during childbirth.
That's not true. The Supreme Court.
Really?
That's not true. Can you let me finish now? The facts. The Supreme Court came out with a case in another state. They came out and said the life of the mother is very important, it has to be in. We mirrored a bill of the Supreme Court because when it was challenged in New Hampshire, went to the Supreme Court, they didn't deny it. They sent it back to the lower court to fix it because of the health of the mother. So New Hampshire Democrats said, oh, no, we don't want that. They repealed it. They didn't fix it.
Would you vote?
I already did.
For a bill?
I already did.
Okay. For a mother during distress,
I already did.
With her life, may have an abortion?
Read the parental notification.
I'm asking you a question.
I did vote for it. You voted against it.
So you voted
I did vote for the health of the mother.
The health of the mother.
Yes, and I'm pro-life. You voted against the health of the mother.
You voted no abortions under any circumstances.
No, that's not in the parental notifications. That's not true.
Really?
The health of the mother.
So you can show me. Well, why?
Read the parental notification bill.
Do you know why I brought that up?
Why?
Because you guys had what? A little get together with all the Republicans?
When?
When? How about last Saturday? Wasn't there a large group of you guys got together?
I don't know what you're talking
about. And at this big committee meeting?
No.
You missed it?
I missed it. What are you talking about? What meeting? What meeting? Help me out here. Explain yourself instead of throwing out bold.
It's going to be interesting. The Republicans have not had a conference.
We had
recently.
A convention. Oh, you're talking the Republican convention. I was there.
Oh, well.
I was there, yes. I was there.
You couldn't even figure out what I was talking about?
No, I didn't know what you were talking about because you talk in circles sometimes.
And I find it very interesting how you would do it that way.
Do what that way?
We didn't get together. Name about when we got there. Because at your convention, what did you...
Tell me what you're saying. Don't be pointing at me like that. Tell me what you're trying to say.
At your convention, what did you say?
What did I say?
Yeah. At the convention, no abortions, not even for a mother who's in distress.
That's not true. That's not true.
Repealing gay marriage?
No, wait.
Are you repealing gay marriage?
Will you hear me? I led the charge to repeal gay marriage
All right,
a few years ago. I stand up for my
So you're going to stand up for that?
No. You know, some gay marriage is settled law. It's already been passed. It's in place.
So are you going to try to repeal it?
I don't like it. No, I didn't say I would.
Are you going to repeal it?
Am I going to repeal it? No, I didn't say I was.
All right, so you're not going to repeal it?
No, I never said I was.
All right, so you're not going to repeal gay marriage.
I don't support gay marriage, but I never said I was
You're not going to repeal it.
What don't you understand? No.
Okay.
You can't read my lips.
So you're not going to repeal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to save this tape because when the Republicans get together up there, if they become the majority, which you should go and vote and get the Democrats.
Gay marriage
and what you are going to find out is that he will vote to repeal it.
You know, let me explain something now since he ran his BS mouth there. I mean, I am against gay marriage. I'm a Catholic. I'm Italian, Catholic, family, mom and dad brought up, and I believe in a mom and dad is the structure, is the strength of the family. Raising a child, that's just my opinion. Now, do I care what you do in your bedroom? I don't care. I could care. All I said is marriage is part of like a club, a VFW. You got to be a combat veteran in order to get in there. Marriage should have been like a man and a female. The homosexual community, God bless them, okay, if they whatever they want to do, they call it something else. That's all I asked for. But now, since it's settled law, I am not going to change and try to, you know, the people that have already been married. Two of my good friends just got married, two females, okay, in Londonderry. I've helped them out on some issues. And you know something? I told them right to their face. I said, you know something? I'm not in support of gay marriage, but congratulations. They understand. We conversated my reasons why. But when you explain to, you know, like my two friends that are lesbians, they understand. And who are they to push their views on me? And they're good friends.
So you will not repeal it?
I know not one Republican that said they were going to try to repeal it. Not one.
But you're not going to even if it comes up?
What don't you understand? Are you
all right,
that slow?
All right.
Is it big government didn't give you no talking points?
Why you've probably, we do have a representative, and I'm not going to mention his name because I had practically a fist fight with him, who does a lot of blogging, you know who I'm talking about, who is gay.
Oh, yes.
Yes, right. And he
was mad.
Ballistic over this.
He was mad.
Ballistic.
But you know, the thing is, you cannot change. We have some people that are coming into the Republican Party, just like the Democrat Party, and they want to change things. And they wanted to change the platform. But you can't push and change this. Why were you going to force?
Well,
I have the right to believe as I want.
Right. Who is
running
it?
I went from Democrats when you were real
Was
Democrats.
it Jennifer Hahn that was running the whole thing?
Yeah, but there's rules that she has to comply with, like the Democrats. Don't try to make us.
So your platform is
says we don't support gay marriage. We
anti-gay.
Well, no, it's not anti-gay. That's not true. You're turning it around. What it says, we support the foundation of a mom and dad family involved with the children, to have a mother and a father.
Well, guess what?
That's what we support.
And guess what? And if there's not a mother and father there for a child, I will, you know, I come from a family that believes not in gay marriage.
That's why I left the Democrat Party.
Having said that, after listening over the years, when a person loves a person, male, male, female, female, and they want to raise children, I think it's far better for a family to be a man or woman. Would be nice, but to a gay couple raising children is far better than a child not having any parents at all.
Do you know my two friends, okay, which I love them dearly, both of them, okay, they have a daughter, okay, but the daughter also has the father involved in his life, her life.
Good.
It has to happen.
Good.
I have
well, what you're saying,
what I'm saying is,
what you're saying, female and male needs a female and male influence.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't think a gay couple realizes that?
I hope they do. I know the two I know do. But the thing is, should it be called marriage? Marriage has been for hundreds of years a man and a woman. All of a sudden, because the homosexual community, you know, I think they should have the same benefits as a male and a female. Okay, but call it something else. Don't call and take away, you know, the marriage that has been there for hundreds of years
we're going
of a man.
to call
man
it something else.
Well,
what we realize is that you're not going to, even if the Republican Party brings it up,
I know it.
I'm going to hold you to this, that you are not, because you held me to one thing.
If you watch,
if I remember correctly,
it.
which I got in trouble with the Democrats, I'm going to hold you to this one.
Right. I will vote against the repeal of gay marriage.
Good.
But what I will support is the constitutional amendment, because I will respect the right of the people to vote.
The constitutional amendment.
Yes. It may never come, but that was my push.
Constitutional.
My push, if you go to
change the Constitution in our state?
If you go to www.albaldessaro.com and you look up my position, it says, I would support a constitutional amendment for the people of New Hampshire to vote.
Vote on what?
I stand by
vote on what?
On marriage, on how it should be defined in New Hampshire. If the people say it should be defined as a man and a woman, then what we should do is call gay marriage something else and give them the same benefits, because it's a freedom.
You know,
they should have the same benefits.
You know something? I find it very fascinating. The Republicans have come a long way, simply because you are saying now that they should have the same rights.
I said it then.
The Republicans had to be pulled, dragged, kicking and screaming, you know, into this century, out of the Dark Ages.
The Republicans want
and you guys
government.
keep doing this, and it's why is it always the Democrats? Why is it always the Democrats that get things done, and the Republicans keep tearing things down?
That's not true. Show what. Matter of fact, you guys keep spending and spending. You want government involved in the family.
And you know, people like
the Democrats brought in Common Core, ran by the federal government. The government brought in all these other things from the federal government. They want big government. That's what you're about.
Yeah.
We want government out of your house, out of your pockets, and leave your guns alone.
And ladies and gentlemen, every time you hear a Republican say, like their patron saint named Ronald Reagan, when Reagan got done,
I love John Kennedy.
The United States of America was in debt, and the government was about twice as big. So you want what?
You know something?
So that's like saying, believe me, I will not steal money out of your pocket, though I'm a pickpocket.
I was a fan of John Kennedy, and I met John Kennedy in my grandfather's yard when I was, I don't know, 4, 5 years old. I met Tip O'Neill. I was a Democrat for many years.
Everybody liked John Kennedy.
I was Ted Kennedy also. Ted Kennedy, all of a sudden, he fought for veterans. He fought for the people. Now the Democrats today went socialist, okay? Because you keep getting they become socialists.
And you know,
I left the Democrat Party because of what was going on.
Turning and saying, the Republicans keeps turning and saying that we spend.
You do.
But you know what you forget to tell or mention the Republicans? That when the Democrat came in, on the very month that he came in, there was 750,000 jobs were lost. $2 trillion
How many were jobs?
in war.
When Clinton came in.
Wars. The economy was tanking. Everything is absolutely getting better. Up. And you guys turn around and keep saying that the Democrats have done nothing and are no good and are spending all the money. That's not true.
You know something? Now, can I say something before you cut me off? You just keep going on these BS. I got to watch my mouth. These BS rants. You know?
Yeah. Richard would click that.
Sorry, Rich, but they do a beep on that one.
Yeah, I know.
But anyways, I was a Democrat for many years. I told you this before. My grandfather was a mayor of Cambridge. I've sat from 4 or 5 years old in my grandfather's yard with many great Democrats like Tip O'Neill. I like Ted Kennedy.
And when did you go to the dark side?
Because
by the way, I talked to one of your relatives who says you're a bad person.
Because when Ronald Reagan, I was in the Marine Corps in about the third year, and I seen what he was doing.
And what did he do?
He was cutting taxes. He was giving businesses the opportunity to stand on their own.
Really?
He was reducing regulations.
Really?
He was helping.
And was it not Ronald Reagan where 115 or 20 Marines were killed in a building, and instead of turning around and fighting those bastards, Ronald Reagan turned around and left the country?
No, actually, no. There was what happened is I was in the Marine Corps then, okay? There was issues with the helicopters and some other stuff there and going in, Okay, so there was more to meets the eye than what you'll ever even have a clue on.
Right. So I wonder if this president. I wonder if this president.
I lost some good friends. Wait, I lost some good friends in their barracks.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say, there's more to meets the eye.
I know. All right. But do you think that this president, right now, would let that happen and let something like that get away with? And I'll tell you what.
He's done it over and over.
Let us draw.
You asked me last week, has the president ever done anything right?
You lost people in the barracks. Let's move on.
No,
Let's
wait.
move
Can
on.
I ask something? You asked me last week or a couple of weeks ago, has President Obama ever done anything right? I have to admit, he finally came around in doing things right and bombing people that weren't Americans dead. It took them so long to let them get bigger and bigger and stronger and kill
and where excuse me
people.
and where
he finally got off the golf. You know, let me finish. He finally got off the golf course and made a command decision that I'm finally impressed with my president for the first time.
You know what? It's
in
really
6 years.
it's very interesting how this all comes about. You know, how the Republicans look at it.
But you guys
what you are talking about. Let's go back. Was that you wanted the president, the Republicans wanted the president to give the Syrians fighting against their government, you, McCain, Republicans wanted them to do something then, and the president said, hey, you want to know what? We don't really know who's fighting over in Syria, so we're not going to give anyone, or we're going to give a little money, or we're going to give a little help, but we're not going to give a lot of arms in Syria. What happened in Syria?
Okay.
ISIS came along.
And that other group,
and
too.
ISIS.
There's another group.
So now it's defined. So what they do is they come into Iraq, and what do they steal the first thing?
The president said they were
military
JV. Right, but the president said they were JV.
And then what did he do?
He didn't have a plan, do you remember?
And then what did he do?
The president did nothing. He was
had
on the golf course.
A plan. He was not going to tell the world what the plan was.
Oh, that's not very. That's
really?
Not true because he came right out.
And how many times? And how many times have they?
Why did he
how many
look like
Saudis
a complete idiot?
Have they done already? 500.
It's about time.
It's about.
It's about time.
I see. I see. But before it wasn't. Before you wanted to go in and bomb Syria.
You know, I'm a military man.
You want to go bomb Syria?
I am a military. Yes. Because there was a group that we had intel.
We did not know that.
Yes, he did know that because he fired more generals.
Not true.
He fired more generals.
That was not true. The fact of the matter was, ISIS was an offshoot of a group that was fighting in Iran.
Check. Do a Google search on admirals and generals that have been fired under President Obama. There are more because they disagreed with his walking away from Iraq. They disagree with what he was doing in Syria.
It was a Republican president who said when we were going to get out of Iraq, who gave the date when we were going to get out of Iraq.
But the thing is, with a contingency, that was the plan. With a, not 100%.
Well, now everybody you can go and you can do a Google search on that also.
That's right. Look at the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Yeah, but you know something, and you.
We're going to agree to disagree on this.
No, we're not.
I track this stuff.
But one thing that you have to understand is you're looking at it militarily, but you got to look at it at the picture of you want to leave people in Iraq, but the Iraqi government will not sign a piece of paper simply stating if there is collateral damage, which happens in war, the Americans soldier is not responsible and cannot be held or arrested. That is the truth. That's the reason why. That's the reason why we left Iraq. That was the reason why we got out of.
That's not true. President Obama.
How would you like to bet?
You want to know something? If you,
how would you like to bet?
Tell you what. Talk to some of the Gold Star mothers here in New Hampshire. Talk to them about what rules of engagement are. What President Obama did. Talk to Mrs. Healy that lost her son.
You know,
no, listen to me. There was a Navy SEAL. Do you understand rules of engagement?
No, we've got that. But we're talking about bombing ISIS to the Gold Star mothers. And
because I'm telling you.
That's an awful thing to do to me because I feel for Gold Star mothers.
Then understand.
But they would have certainly understood.
Do you see the Gold Star mother standing up? This lady that's, God bless her, is going around the country, Mrs. Healy here in New Hampshire, talking about rules of engagement on how the President Obama has made it so hard for our veterans over there. They want them to read them their rights when they capture them. I'm sorry, when you're on the battlefield, You get some. You capture somebody.
That's not true.
It's not true.
That's not true. Read him the rights.
It's not true.
That's not true. No,
Miranda rights. That's not true.
No, that's not true. Miranda rights is here in the United States of America.
You have a lot to learn there.
And what if he made a mistake?
My son is a sergeant in the Marine Corps, served in Iraq.
If he made
Why would I tell a lie?
If he made a mistake, the only mistake was wanting to bring the terrorist into the United States to be in court here, judged here.
And Democrats and Republicans shut him down on shutting down Cuba. I mean, you know, on Gitmo, you know, they shut him down because they knew on people on the battlefield have no business coming in our country. They have no business getting lawyered up and everything else. That they should be tribunals right out there.
And
military
shot.
Tribunal. You're damn right. If you kill Americans, I support that.
And you want to know something?
When you kill Americans...
And I suppose you're also for waterboarding. That's fine.
Yes, I do. I support that.
Waterboarding.
Yes, I do. Because
waterboarding someone 100 and something times?
Well, look at the lives they saved. Look at the intel they got.
Yeah, well...
Look at how many Americans they saved.
We know
Don't
now
you want to save Americans?
Does not
Don't Democrats want to do everything you got to do to protect and save Americans?
Waterboarding does
How do you know that?
Do it.
How
you watch too much TV.
No. 22 years in the Marine Corps, I watched too much TV. Huh? I served in Desert Storm. I served in other countries.
Do you believe that next week it'll be 100 shows?
I can't believe that. Yeah, they can. No, 100 shows.
I'm surprised that Nashua hasn't thrown us out.
You ain't kidding. They haven't thrown me out, you know?
Yeah, well...
Because you got a lot of Democrats here in Nashua that like taxes. My district don't like being taxed.
No. How did you get into 100 shows?
Because that's why they haven't thrown you out.
100 shows with a Republican and a Democrat. And do you know how much trouble I have got into? And by the way, I can see somebody coming over here. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Oh, here we go. You know, I've said this before, and I will say it again. It takes four. And it's not
facts.
It's not.
The facts. A military guy like me don't know what I'm talking about. Here's the facts. You know something?
Let me see that.
I've been on state and federal relations. I haven't looked at it yet.
I haven't. Let me see it.
Can you hear me for a second?
No, I want to see it. You brought that up. You held that up. I want to see it.
I've been on state and federal relations Veterans Affairs Committee for 8 years. State and federal relations. I'm the former chairman. I'm a military guy, 22 years, retired first sergeant, okay, with a top secret clearance that I used to have. I've been there, done that. I track. I got a son who's a sergeant in the Marine Corps.
After doing TV, you do not have.
Disturbing. I'm going to give you one. Disturbing the list of purged military officers under Obama. Commanding generals fired because they disagreed with the president's stand.
And by the way, if you got the TV on there, the word is conservative. Okay, conservative. I'll tell you what, not all Democrats are conservative or liberal, but listening to this junk.
Command sergeant majors, generals, brigadier general, major general.
And the reason why?
Throw it away.
And the reason why?
Command the Rear Admiral Charles Gollett, Navy commander, okay, fired.
For what?
Vice Admiral, Deputy of the U.S. Strategic Command, Submarine Group 9 and Submarine, don't say.
What was he fired for?
I haven't got to the whole thing. There's a lot on here.
Well, why don't you get to the reason why they were giving it to me? Let's see it.
Don't throw it away.
I'm not going to throw it away. No, wait a minute. Let's find out.
I can tell you why. Because I'm on military sites. I am on with active duty people. I keep being on the Veterans Affairs Committee. It is my job as the former chairman and the senior Republican on the state and federal relations to keep up with this stuff. You're on commerce. You don't. So I'm giving facts, and he just proved it.
Excuse me. I don't know a president of the United States who has not fired military people.
Okay.
Can you name one?
Right there, Obama. Yes, Obama.
No, has not fired military people.
You know something? There are presidents that have. Yes, nothing like Obama, because other generals have never ever gone against a president like we got today.
And generals want to do what?
The first couple sentences on the page in your hand.
He threw out the one.
Read those first couple sentences.
All right.
He threw the page down.
Okay.
Don't change the page. The one in your hand.
He threw the top one.
All right. Well, first couple sentences. I believe only 2 generals were fired under Bush. 2 terms total. There are currently 48 4-star generals linked in Wikipedia. Okay. Many of these below have spotless records, up to 25 years. Many medals and honors, such as Brigadier General Bryant, okay, on and on and on. Okay, commanding generals fired. Okay, fired for what? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Fired because they disagree with the president.
Wow.
Because the president's suicide for our veterans.
Isn't this very fascinating?
Because of his missions that he's doing, he's listening to civilians and not his generals.
Isn't this fascinating that we have two wars? One went on for 10 years and still going on. You know, and so when somebody steps in and says, and this is one of the good reasons why we have people who are voted in who are commander-in-chief, because these generals wanted to keep fighting. Let's stop more wars.
Why do you?
And you're fired.
No, these generals are paid to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States.
And they want to keep the wars going.
They will not take illegal laws.
And you get a president of the United States who wants to say, stop war.
They're not going to put their men and women in danger. You got civilians making decisions from President Obama. These generals spoke out and will not have their veteran on the battlefield be killed. I'm sorry. We're going to agree to disagree. I think we need to move on here for a second.
All right, we got 8 minutes.
You know something? I went to the Manchester VA Regional Office Town Hall.
Yes.
How come I didn't see any Democrats there on veterans issues?
What was it for?
This was packed. It was on benefits. Don't throw this away.
I'm not going to throw it away.
Okay, this is on veterans benefits.
Manchester VA Town Hall meeting.
It was put out. It was on the radio.
Who was it?
It was on the radio.
Excuse me. Who?
This was put on by the VA, Manchester.
VA in Manchester.
Yes, and the director of benefits that's out of Boston and works out of Manchester.
And you were there.
I was there.
A lot of people there.
What I'm trying to say is,
were there a lot of people there?
Oh, it was packed.
Packed.
But the legislators that were there were Republicans. I didn't see any Democrats. How come? This is why you all say veterans, but they use us as political pawns.
I mean, this is fascinating, and I'm sure some people are out there going, "Oh, Democrats hate veterans." Are you saying?
I'm saying Democrats do.
Republicans hate veterans?
No, I didn't say Republicans. I said Democrats.
Oh, Democrats hate veterans
because you're always talking about war.
Wait a minute.
War is sometimes we don't want war, but you got to protect the American people.
Oh well. You're right about that. But you want to know something? Those generals there who are on the floor who got fired, all right?
How about the one that got killed? How about our ambassador?
99% of them wanted to keep war.
How about our ambassador that was yelling and screaming for help under Hillary Clinton? I need more people here. Okay? And he's dead today and 3 other veterans.
And we keep going over this where the Democrats came in and said, we need more money to boost up military around the world, and you guys voted the money down.
That's not true. That's not true. Hillary Clinton.
Oh, Hillary Clinton.
Okay, but what I'm trying to tell you, I got fact sheets and other stuff that's going on.
Okay, so what is your point?
Well, my point is,
Democrats hate veterans.
I want Democrats to stop using the political pawns. Get involved in what's going on around the state.
How interesting is it that you will bring in military people who were fired? More likely they were fired because they wanted to keep war going.
Because yesterday I got so aggravated when I looked around that room, about 7,500 people, it was packed in there, okay? And I seen quite a few. Fred Rice came from Hampton Beach area.
You know, Fred Rice. Fred Rice sat right next to me. I'm on a committee with Fred Rice.
But I'm saying he came all the way from Hampton because it was on veterans issues.
Well, you want to know why?
But what I'm trying to say is,
Fred Rice was...
He's an Army veteran, but, he's a state representative.
West Point?
West Point, that's right.
He sat right next to me.
2 tours in Vietnam.
Choral Society at West Point.
Right.
They were on Ed Sullivan Show twice.
But my point
he led a chorus at St.
We're
Patrick's.
there to speak out on issues here for veterans here in New Hampshire. Where are the Democrats? Why weren't they there at that meeting? You know, Senator Shaheen, Custer,
you keep saying that. You keep saying
their aides were there.
You keep
to give them the respect, their aides were there.
You keep saying that, yes.
Okay, and Calashay Porter, their aides.
Okay.
Okay, no, I'm sorry, Custer's wasn't there. Calashay Porter's were there. I didn't see Custer's aide there, veterans aide. But what I'm trying to say is, where are they speaking out for us? We got issues here in New Hampshire.
Excuse me, I am a Democrat. I am from the, you're from the, I'm a little older than you. I'm from the Vietnam War.
I'm still a baby.
I
was too young for Vietnam.
I didn't go there because I had a cancer of the bone, and when I was 16 years old, and by that time I got at 18, I still limp, by the way. All right, I did not go, but had friends. By the way, I did not go politically because at that time there was nothing political about the war. It was a war. All right, but I know people have come back. So don't tell me Democrats don't care about other Democrats who've gone to war.
Because all the commercials.
That's a typical Republican right across the board.
You know why I'm aggravated? Because I see
you are aggravated.
I see all these commercials on TV, political commercials. Look what I did. Look what I did. Shaheen taking credit for Berlin, for the vet center in the clinic out there that's going to be put in place there. She had nothing to do with it. It was way before she was even a senator. She got caught in a lie.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did. She had nothing to do with it.
Excuse me, as a senator, doesn't she have to sign something that it's okay?
No. It was already approved.
The monies were approved. How long were the monies approved for?
For quite a while.
When were the monies given?
Well, the monies are just starting to come in now.
Oh, I see. So she had a lot to do with getting the monies to come in.
She voted to cut COLA on the military. She didn't vote to cut her pay.
Did she not help get that money to come in?
No, it was already in place. It was already in committee.
Not in place.
It was there. The Berlin was approved years ago.
She's been there for 6 years.
Berlin
was.
We were fighting this battle 8 years ago. You know who the guru is? A Democrat, Representative Robert Taberge. Don't believe me. Ask him when this came in Berlin. Don't believe me. Representative Chris Roberts, myself, was involved with this 8 years ago. And that's government work slow. That's how long it's taken us.
And you don't think that Jeanne Shaheen, as governor, had nothing to do with it?
I brought you a gift. This veteran here is gonna be the next senator because he cares.
Let me show you somebody. Jeanne Shaheen, you know what she looks like. Is from New Hampshire. Lived here.
Take a picture of him with this in his
almost
hand.
Her entire life.
And tweet it to me.
She in turn went to the House of Representatives. Then she worked her way in. Then she worked her way up to
she pushed out all the insurance
Senator
companies.
of New Hampshire. Then she worked herself up to the First Lady Governor in New Hampshire. Then she worked herself into being senator. This man comes and he wants to walk in. I don't think so.
Read the articles on Senator Shaheen.
Not in the least.
Read the articles on Senator Shaheen's business practices.
And it surprises me that you, as a Republican, who believe and love the state of New Hampshire, believes that Jeanne Shaheen is doing a bad job.
Were you born in New Hampshire?
Yes, I was.
You was?
Yes, I was.
He was too. He was born in New Hampshire. Okay, did you know that? Did you know he's owned a house over there in Rye for over 30 years? Do you know he grew up and worked in different places over there in the Dover
political
area?
Offices in New Hampshire, how many have you held?
This is a guy who
he's from Massachusetts.
You know, I thought the same thing.
He was a senator.
I thought the same thing like you. I was the same thing. I said, wow, he's a carpetbagger coming. But until I did the homework and found out he was born here in New Hampshire.
I'm getting a...
Okay? So I just want to make sure we got the truth.
Yeah.
Look.
All right, we have a minute left. Hey, look, next week is going to be fun because this is 100 shows. It does get wild. It does get woolly. Believe it or not, I do interrupt him. He interrupts me. I do it only because this guy is so pushy. He gets in so much trouble up in Concord.
I'm a bully.
Give your name, where they can get you. We've got 45 seconds.
Al Baldessaro. You can reach me at www.albaldessaro.com, or you can call me on my phone, 425-6997, or you can stop by my house in Londonderry. My door's open. I'll talk to anybody.
His door's open. I'm going to give you the address.
If I talk to him, I'll talk to anybody.
My name is Ken Gidge. I live here in the city of Nashua, New Hampshire. I'm running for alderman. Excuse me, not alderman.
I got them all confused.
I'm not confused.
The facts kill them.
Ward 6. Do vote, please. We'll see you next week. 100th show. This is going to be fun, huh?
Oh, we will. Bill O'Brien here.
Bill O'Brien. We're going to have a wonderful time. It's going to be fun.
We're going to take the gloves off?
The gloves will be off. They're never on.
All right, that's good.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.